Hi, in this video, which relates to content of chapter 4, I'm going to go over, in this part 1, I'm going to go over arrays, and then in part 2, I will go over loops and array lists, which are, an array is a type of list. Lists and loops are almost always used together. So, but to keep these reasonably length, the first part will just be about arrays, mostly about arrays, and the second part will be more about loops. So in this class, which I will give to you, I declare 3 arrays: list of names, grades, and heights. Now arrays are lists. They're an old type in Java, and they have some peculiarities in their syntax, including the fact that you can initialize them like this. So if you see these square brackets, that's an indication that you're using arrays. So what this is saying, create a list of strings. So this list will hold string objects. It's called list of names. And the array class has this ability to quickly initialize the list with these values that are supplied inside of these braces. So because this is strings, we have to give it strings, right? And that creates a list with these strings in the positions of the arrays. And we'll take a look at that in a second. Same thing here, but in this case, it's a list of int values, right? And then we supply the int values and a list of heights in inches, and we supply that list of heights, right? And these can be any length, but an important point about arrays is that they're immutable. So once the array has been created, you cannot change its length. That's just the way it is, okay? You can create a new array and move the stuff in the existing array over to that array, but you cannot change the size of an array once you've created it. Immutable, okay? So let's go ahead and compile this and take a look at these arrays. So we're going to use the inspect function in BlueJ. And these are the fields. And when the field references an object and an array is an object, you get this arrow here because it's indicating that what's stored in the list of names is really a pointer to the object. In this case, here's the object, and the object is this array. Its length is 10, right? So this is actually a field of the array length, and because it's immutable, we'll access it in a special way, unlike most fields. The array is immutable, right? Meaning it can't change in its length. So arrays, all lists in all programming languages that I know of, their first element is at position 0, not position 1. Just get used to that. And so because we're starting at 0, we have 10 elements, our last element is at position 9. This is sometimes referred to as the index position of the array, and that's the content of whatever's at that index position. So at list of names sub 0, at that index position, Jeffrey is stored, and so on. Okay. Same with grades. Same with heights, okay? So this is how you define the arrays. In this case, there are other ways to do it, but when we're getting started, this is a quick and easy way to do it. You specify the type of thing that you're storing in the array. You put these square brackets, you give it a name, equal sign, and then inside braces you list the things that you want to be in that list, right? And they obviously have to be of the correct type. So if I put an integer in here, that would not be a string, and this would be Java would object. All right. Same if I put a string in here, Java wants integers to put in this list, not strings. And then again, the reminder that once you create an array, it's immutable. You cannot change its length. Now you can change, and I didn't make this clear before, you can change what is in each of those positions, right? So we can change what's at the 0 position. We can change what is at the 1 position, and we do this all the time. But we cannot change the length of the array. If it starts at 10, it's 10 until the array is no longer used. Okay, that's it. Sort of a very quick introduction to arrays.